Our objective today is to partition shapes into equal shares during our problem set. Do the problems with me.
Instructions are that we want to circle the shapes that have two equal shares with one share shaded in. So the first thing we have to do is we have to look for the shapes that have got two equal shares. 2 shares, and they're equal because they're both the same size. So this could be one. This one's got 2 shares, but this one is a lot smaller than this one. So that doesn't work because they're not equal. So I'm just going to cross that out and apparently have that move all over the place. So I'm going to cross that out because that's not possible. Then if I look here, I've got 2 shares here, and they're both the same size, so they're equal, so that would work. But then this one over here, this has got 1, 2, 3, so that's not a possibility, so I'm automatically going to cross that out as well. So now it's between these two here, and I want to circle the one that it's got 1 share shaded in. This here, 2 equal shares, and there's 1 shaded in. So that works for us. So I'm going to circle that. This one over here, 1, 2 equal shares, and one of those equal parts is shaded in. So that is also a possibility for us. And I have no idea why that's doing that. So we have got 2 shapes here with 2 equal shares and 1 share that is shaded in. For problem number 2, it says shade 1/2 of the shapes that are split into 2 equal shares. One has been done for you. So A here has got 2 equal shapes. So 2 equal shares here. They're both the same size, and then they shaded one of the equal shares in. So that one looks correct. Let's look at B here. First thing we have to look at is, does it have 2 equal shares? There's 2 shares, and they're both the same size. So this works, and now what we want to do is we want to color in one of the shares. Just one, not both. Okay? So that's what B would look like. And I'm sure yours looks like a lot neater and more colored in. Let's look at C. There's 2 shares, but they are not equal. They don't have the same amount on both. So we're not going to do anything to C. We're going to leave it blank. D. Let's look at the amount of shares there are. 1, 2, 3 pieces. We're looking for shapes with 2 pieces. So D doesn't work either. So we're going to leave that one blank. Let's look at E. Let's see how many pieces or shares there are. 2 equal shares. They're both the same size. So just like we did in B, we are going to shade in one of those equal shares. Let's take a look at F. We've got 2 shares here, and it looks like they are about the same size. So I am going to shade one side in. Let's take a look at G. 2 shares. Are they the same size? Yes, they are. So we can shade one of those equal shares in. Let's look at H. Once again, how many shares are there? 1, 2. Are they equal? Yes or no? No. So we are not going to do anything to H. We're going to leave it blank. Let's take a look at I here down here. Let me move this over to the side so that way you can see it. Or not. Maybe it won't move if I move that up a little bit. Okay. I know my drawings are off. Try not to pay attention to it. Let's look here at I. There's 1, 2 shares. Are they the same size? Yes, they are. They are equal shares. So we can shade in one piece of it. Let's look at J. How many shares? 1, 2. Are they equal? Yes, they are. So we can shade in one piece of it. Let's look at K. How many shares? 1, 2. Are they equal? Yes or no? Yes, they are. So we can shade in one piece of it. Okay. So that's how we do that page there. Let's keep going. Our problem number 3, always read the directions first. Partition the shapes to show halves. So the first thing we have to do here is we're going to have to partition. We have to remember what that means, right? Partition means to divide. So we want to divide the shapes to show halves. What does halves mean? We want to split it into 2 equal parts. So we're going to split each of these shapes into 2 equal parts, and then we're going to shade in 1/2 of each. And then we are going to compare your halves to your partners. So I want to take a look at my circle here and think about how I could divide this into 2 equal parts. I can start at the top, and I can draw straight down to the best of my ability. So I have split this circle into 2 equal parts, or partitioned it. Now I have to do step 2. I've got to shade in one piece, one of the equal shares. So that's how I would do this circle here. This circle here, now I want to partition it maybe in a different way. Maybe I'll start over on the side of the circle, but I want to make sure that I have got 2 equal shares. So I want to find kind of halfway in between the circle here, which is about here, and draw my line the straightest possible to the best of my ability across my circle. So you want to make sure you have the same amount up here as you do down here to have those 2 equal shares. If you don't, erase it and do it again. Now I want to shade in 1/2. Now this one down here, I can do it down going this way, or I could do it across this way to create 2 equal shares. I'm going to go down this way because I think that's easier for me to do. So I'm going to find halfway between, right at the top of my circle about here, and draw down to the best of my ability. Take a look. Are they pretty equal on both sides? I think it's pretty good. So I will shade in 1/2 to show my fraction of my circle.
Do problem B with your partner. Raise your hand when you're done so we can go over your work together.